took a look at some of your socials, so I see you're pretty active. Um, when did you get started?
I started back when I was in probably middle school,
Yep.
probably about 12 years ago, and then just kind of built it up as I was going through school, going through college, and then once I graduated with my business degree, I was like, I'm making about what I'd be making if I go entry level business, and I
Hmm.
could take my lawn care business farther than that, and I've just stuck with it since then. I got a officially licensed and everything, and I think it was January 4th of 2021.
And when you were in college, were you still doing lawn care
Yeah.
part time?
Um, I was doing it. Luckily, the schedule I was able to do 3 days a week most times, or have one morning class. So I was able to knock out yards after.
So, did you always want to do business since you pursued your degree originally in that?
I've always had like a entrepreneurial mindset.
Hmm.
Um, I'm stuck between this and going into the fire academy, and I'm thinking about doing both. I know a lot of guys in my area that own companies are firefighters, and
Yep.
they work with a lot of firefighters on different shifts as employees. So that's just something I'm thinking about doing. But right
Yep.
now, I'm just working on growing the business, finding key employees to work while I'm not in the office, so I can explore those other opportunities down the
And
road.
did you get your business admin degree?
Yeah, I got a applied business management degree.
Hmm. That's good. So, I know you said you kind of looked at the entry level positions and seeing the pay that kind of stirred you to like, I'll start my own. But did you try out any of them?
I've worked in retail part time,
Hmm.
seeing like how different management leaders within the companies that I've worked for, like the way they taught their employees and the leadership type style,
Hmm.
and within retail wise. But I haven't really gone outside of retail part time,
Yep.
whatever. I've just been doing lawn care and then during the winter retail part time.
Yep. And then I saw that you also work, it was at Lee's Summit Underwater Rescue and Recovery. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's a all volunteer organization.
Hmm.
I'm a captain of the team and their public information officer.
Hmm. And so are you actually a diver as well for them?
Yeah,
Wow.
we
So,
have divers and non-diver positions on the
mhm.
team, and I recently became a diver last year for the
How do you
team.
get into that?
I just like volunteering, helping the communities, and I've I have a couple buddies who are divers, and
Hmm.
just wanted to get into that. And I was like, "Oh, I'll join the team. Maybe they can have some connections on how to get
Hmm.
certified and stuff quicker than going through retail shops and stuff like that." And
Yeah.
I was
Wow,
able to join
man.
the team, and they actually had a couple
Mhm.
instructors on the team that I've worked with to get certified and all that.
Wow. So you are dive instructor, own a landscaping business, and even looking to be a firefighter too, possibly.
Yeah.
How do you manage your time?
Um. Right now, I just kind of get in everything whenever I can. I try to
Hmm.
focus on the business within the first part of the day. Right now, I have a part-time evening job working security
Hmm.
just to get through the winter. Since there wasn't a lot of snow around here this winter, um, just keep bills paid and all that.
Yep.
And um, so, luckily on that, I'm at a desk watching cameras, doing that type of security stuff. So I have some free time to work on the business. Like if I get a business phone call or something, there's flexibility there, which I like about that.
So why do you do it? Why do you run your own company if you have all these other options?
I like um the time management aspect of it. Like I have more free time.
Hmm.
Um, I know sometimes during the peak of summer, I'm working 60 hours a week, all that. But come fall and winter, once everything slows down in the area, it kind of just time to go on vacations with the wife, hang out, pick up a part-time job here and there just for some extra income so I don't blow through my winter fund
Yep.
instantly. and sometimes just sitting at home just is boring. So I
Yeah.
like getting out and working during the winter.
And I know you said you've been doing it since middle school. Did you have someone who influenced you, or are you just like, I'm going to grab a mower and cut some grass?
There was a guy down the street I lived on that started a lawn care business. And I was just he had the commercial equipment and knockout yards in no time. And every time he was mowing the yard right across the street, I was like, "Whoa, that's so cool! You got that knocked out in 15 minutes. I'm over here push mowing my parents' yard
Yeah.
in like an hour." Um, and then he unfortunately passed away in a motorcycle accident. And then after that, I was like, "Okay, well." Uh, his parents lived right down the street, and they had some equipment, like
Hmm.
some weed eaters and stuff. And they're like, we see that you had some drive for one of lawn care, and we're always like amazed whenever he was doing it outside. So they helped me out with some a good deal on some weed eaters and blowers
Hmm.
to start out, and then garage sale push mowers to start out
Hmm.
after that, and just went off from there.
Wow. And then what do you? I mean, you have all these other options and all these other things you want to do. What is the ultimate goal for this company?
The ultimate goal is to have one or two guys working for me full time, year round, that I could trust taking the truck out.
Hmm.
And then if I do become a firefighter, uh, the schedules around this area are 24 on, 48 off.
Hmm.
So on those days off, I could at least one of the days come in and help them. Or if we have a landscape job, I'll come in and help do the landscaping part
Yep.
and have them do majority of the lawn maintenance side of things and snow removal stuff when I'm not available.
Yep. And what are the biggest issues you're facing right now?
Last year, one of the biggest issues was finding those key employees.
Hmm.
I had some good employees when they showed up. I know sometimes um, their early mornings during the peak of summer it just gets hard and they're tired and all that. But just showing up on time was the hardest thing last year.
Hmm.
I found some employees that were good, and they're still with me going into this season. We just have to work on that, getting on time, getting up on time, all that fun stuff.
So is it the same workers that were having attendance issues that are coming back this year, or is it different workers?
It's the same worker.
Hmm. Okay.
Um, I I know they have some kids and teething and all that keep them up all night, so their sleep schedules are off.
Yep.
So I try to be flexible with my employees and give them the benefit of the doubt. But sometimes it was multiple times a week, and then going into this season, I'm coming up with a more kind of an employee handbook. That's kind
Hmm.
of what I've been doing this off season, trying to work on that. So I have um like write up, like what classifies as a write up, and then
Hmm.
if you're gone so many times or late so many times, that could be a cause for termination.
Hmm.
'Cause I've been hearing a lot of people say like hire fat or hire slow, fire fast type
Hmm.
thing, and I just want to give these guys a chance to grow within the company because I see their passion in what we do. It's just sometimes life gets in the way and it's kind of hard. And I just try
Hmm.
to be open minded when it comes to that end of things.
Yeah. Okay. And what do you think's gonna be your biggest issue next year?
Going in this season, right now I have a lot of mower issues.
Hmm.
So coming on up on the spring rush, just trying to figure out what we're going to do for mowers wise is the biggest issue going into this year. And then hopefully by the end of the year, um, we have some new mowers or something.
Hmm.
Because one of my mowers is actually getting some warranty work, but the engine had a internal leak, so
Yep.
they were going to replace it. But that engine is currently on a stop sale, so they don't know or have any clue when a new engine will be available.
Hmm. And is that
And
the original mower you got when you started?
no, this is probably our third or fourth mower.
Hmm.
I started with an old snapper. That was my first zero turn. I had one joystick on the right hand side, and it was all right for what it was. It was just an old lawnmower to start. But then after that, I went up to a Skag Liberty Z, and we still have that. I think my parents use that for their yard, or we
Mhm.
have it as a backup if we ever need it. But now we use the V rides, the Skag V rides. And we have a 48 and a 61,
Mhm.
and then
S-
a 36-inch walk behind.
All right. And so, what do you think's your biggest strength? What are you guys great at?
We're really great at our customer service
Hmm.
and being active within the community. We try to sponsor some sport, like little t-ball teams, sports teams type thing.
Hmm.
We partner with school for events, partner with the Chamber of Commerce for a lot. So we just try to be active in the community and very strong within our customer service. We use Jobber,
Hmm.
so we could message clients instantly about what's going on, what issue, and then each yard we complete, we have a checklist we have to go through, and we have to reason why we didn't do what we like. We didn't weed eat a section or something, or mow a section that day.
And then I saw you had a picture. It looked like you had a table set up at like a baseball field. Is that one of the teams you sponsor?
That one was actually a national night out.
Hmm.
Was with the local police department. We're one of the sponsors for their event, and we get to set up a little booth for that
Hmm.
every year.
And how do those usually do the booths?
Um, what do you mean by that? Like, how
Like,
do I get
are you
clients or
mainly trying to
whatever?
get signups right there? Are you giving like instant quotes? And then usually, what do you get result wise from it?
I usually gain about a client or two. I
Hmm.
get a lot of quotes. That's usually come fall time,
Hmm.
whenever those events are. So that's when aerations are getting ready to kick up.
Hmm.
So I usually like raffle off an aeration or something just to um, get clients' information and stuff, phone
Hmm.
numbers, emails, and just tell them, hey, I might reach out to you regarding this quote if you guys want it. If not, no big deal. And then I just kind of raffle off a gift card or something just to get the information for people and just let them know, hey, we might use this information to contact you in the future
Hmm.
for potential work. But a lot of times we hand out well over 100 business cards that day,
Hmm.
and we give candy to the kids and stuff that come by.
Yep.
So it good interaction between parents and families and all that.
Oh, that's
And
really smart. So I love the raffle. So it's just you give me your information, you
Mhm.
get in the raffle, and I'll probably give you a call later.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And then, so I know you mentioned you do things like Chamber of Commerce. Can you tell me more about the other things you do?
Yeah, I'm a board member for the Chamber of Commerce. I
Hmm.
hold a board seat. We do different types of community events within that part, and it's a good networking thing from local business owners. And I'm currently trying to join this another Chamber of Commerce in the neighboring city,
Hmm.
just to widen my networking abilities.
Yep.
Um, and then I was on another nonprofit board member for a group called Second Chance Outdoors,
Hmm.
where we take veterans and first responders out into the woods, out fishing, that type of thing. We currently put that on a hold just because life was getting in the way
Hmm.
between the board members and stuff, having kids, new jobs, schooling type thing. So we
Hmm.
kind of tabled that for another day this past fall.
And was that your idea initially, or was that one of the other board members?
The Second Chance Outdoors was
Hmm.
another board member. He had it for a couple years,
Hmm.
and then he moved to the area. And then through that Chamber of Commerce, we made that connection and started talking. And we are like, oh yeah, we have cool connections. And then he was doing it all in one or all himself. And I was like,
Hmm.
hey, you need to get a board together type thing. And if you ever need help, let me know. And then they eventually got 5 people for the board,
Yep.
and we were just uh, rolling after that, having events for the first responders, nurses, all that. But just like I said, life got in the way, and
Yeah.
we kind of had to table that for a minute. But we'll hope to. revamp it back one day.
That's awesome, man. And what made you want to do it? I mean, when he came and he told you what he does, like, why is it that you wanted to help out with that?
With me being on the dive team, we help a lot of first responder agencies around.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was Air Force, so he had the military background. And
Mm-hmm.
then we had another board member who was police, and we had one that was a Marine. So we kind of had the different branches and first responder wise people on the board. And there's just a lot of mental health going around right now,
Mm-hmm.
especially regarding first responders and military when they come back, especially military when they come back and get out of the service.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't know what to do, type thing. And we were just another stepping stone for them to get back on the right track. They needed help with anything, just reach out. We're a person to talk to.
Yep. That's awesome. And then I know you also um, have a social media presence too, and I see you on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. What made you want to start posting on there?
So last year I went to Entrepreneur Academy, Brian Fullerton's event,
Mm-hmm.
and I was talking to some people up there, and they had more of a web presence, and they were talking about how just being on those platforms helped grow their business.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not necessarily looking at it to gain a whole lot of followers, but I'm looking at the organic growth type
Mm-hmm.
thing. And then sometimes I just like to have fun with the videos,
Mm-hmm.
ask ideas around, especially on Instagram. Most of my followers are other lawn care businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So I just like to be on there and see like all the support and everything from the other business owners and seeing what other big companies are doing, bouncing ideas back and forth
Yeah.
type thing.
And I didn't even know the entrepreneurs did. Is it like a meetup or a conference? What is it?
Yeah, it's a conference. Usually in November. It's right after the Equip Expo,
Mm-hmm.
about a couple weeks after that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was just completely changed my mindset of business and stuff when I went up there. But I know there's a lot of other events like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like this past weekend, there was or a couple weeks ago, there was a Lawn Care Life event down in Georgia. And then there's the a whole bunch of other stuff like LCR Media event type thing. And then Equip Expo.
Yep.
It was one of the main events. I haven't got the opportunity to go yet, just scheduling conflicts and stuff. But I am hoping to make it out there this year.
So, what was it about the Launchpreneur Conference that was just eye opening for you that made you look at your business different?
It was some of the sponsor or not sponsors, but speakers.
Mm-hmm.
The way they described like how they run their business. I think there was a guy, I think it was Sam Gimbel. He owns Atlas Outdoors up there
Mm-hmm.
in Michigan, and just the way he was saying how he organically grew his company and how they do employees type things and how they try to make it a family atmosphere and stuff within their company. He has, I think, well over 100 employees within his thing, and they're doing
Wow.
um, a couple million a year
Mm-hmm.
in their lawn care business. That just gave you the courage, like, hey, you can do this type thing, and just gave you the courage and everything.
Yeah. Oh, man. So, I got one more question then for you, Brandon. What do you feel is your biggest hurdle for your business? And I don't mean like hurdle in the business. What is your biggest personal hurdle that is holding back your business that you need to overcome personally?
Um, Personal hurdle, I'd say, is just I need to focus more on one thing at a time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always doing 1,000 miles an hour, be like, oh yeah, I need this equipment for this type thing, this for this. And I just need to slow down and be like, okay, what do we really need type thing? What will actually make us profit and not go get a loan for $60,000 just to buy equipment that will sit for half the year type thing. And I just got to get in that right mindset of how I'm going to actually want to grow the business organically
Mm-hmm.
rather than getting the debt real fast and then trying to get all the work after that.
And do you have a lot of debt right now?
Right now in the business, I don't have a whole lot. I think we're about I want to say 15,000, but that was for an aerator we bought,
Mhm.
and then one mower that will be paid off here within the next, or at least the mower will be paid off here within the next month or two.
Awesome. Well, hey, man, it sounds like you're doing great, and that's awesome that Launchpreneur, the conference, was so impactful for you. I'd love to stay in touch. What I'll do is I'll shoot you a text after this so we can, and obviously I'll follow you on your socials so I can see how things go this year.
Okay.
Awesome, man. And any questions for me before I let you go? I also run a landscaping company,
Where are you based out of? I didn't get
Massachusetts,
that.
north of
Massachusetts.
Boston.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
So
then do you guys do a lot of snow removal, or are you more like uh lawn maintenance, or are you fertilizing, or just landscaping?
we just do snow uh, as a fill-in for the winter, but there hasn't been much this year, so didn't do much anything this winter.
I feel like that was everywhere this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, cool, man. And any questions? We have a team of about 7, 8 people. Any questions for me on like anything with the business or management, anything like that?
How do you incentivize your employees to like show up every day, and what do you use to hire those key employees?
It's a great question. I think there's 2 parts to it. The first part is leading by example. So my business is a partnership. There's another owner to our company. We have a rule that neither of us are allowed to show up late. That's just it. If we're late twice in a quarter, meaning 3 months, we have to buy food for the entire team out of our own pocket because the team knows there's a rule that if they're late twice in a quarter, they're let go. So there is a punishment for us, but we just don't show up late
Hmm.
ever. And so that's really impactful for the team, just the fact that we do it. And I like, we're here, we have a policy for management, which is first one in, last one out. So there always is a manager here, either myself, Scott, the other owner, or the branch manager who's starting this year. One of us will always be here before everyone, and one of us will always be the last one to leave this place. So all last year, though, the team never left without one of us here at the shop already. And we work 8 to 12 hour days. We do 4 10s.
Okay.
So they'll come back after a 12-hour shift on a Friday night, and I'm still sitting in the office at 7 p.m. And I was there at 7 a.m. when they left.
Hmm.
So I find that very impactful because the team knows that we are working hard, just as hard or harder than them. And then, secondly, every rule is a suggestion until it's enforced. So we had an attendance issue last year, the first month, fired 2 people for attendance. All of a sudden, everyone was on time.
Yeah.
It's crazy how that happened.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, one is just lead by example. Two is every rule is a suggestion until you enforce it.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions for me, man?
Um, no, not that I could think of right now.
Cool, brother.